Hey there, welcome. Today we're diving into 6 different ways to compost, no matter where you live. Here at Rootshaven Grounds, we're all about growing soil and, honestly, growing community too. At Rootshaven Grounds, we talk a lot about soil because everything in the garden starts there, and if there's one habit that quietly transforms soil better than almost anything else, it's composting. The good news is this: composting isn't just for people with big backyards, farm plots, or endless free time. No matter where you live, an apartment, a rental, a dry climate, a rainy one, urban or rural, there is a composting method that fits your life. In this guide, I want to walk you through 6 different ways to compost that actually work in the real world. These are methods I've tested, learned from fellow gardeners, or seen succeed in spaces far from perfect. Whether you're a beginner just starting out, or an experienced gardener looking to refine your system, you'll find something here you can put into practice right away. Traditional backyard composting. It's honestly the classic that still works. If you have even a small outdoor space, traditional composting remains, one of the most reliable ways to turn waste into black, living soil. This method relies on layering organic materials, like kitchen scraps, garden waste, and dry carbon materials such as leaves or cardboard, and just letting microbes do the heavy lifting. The key to success here isn't perfection, it's really about balance. A healthy compost pile needs both greens, which are nitrogen-rich materials like food scraps and fresh plant matter, and browns, which are carbon-rich materials like dry leaves, straw, or paper. When these are layered or mixed properly, heat builds up, decomposition speeds up, and, unpleasant smells stay away. What a lot of gardeners overlook is moisture. Compost should feel like a wrung-out sponge, not dripping wet, not bone-dry. Turn the pile occasionally to introduce oxygen, and within a few months you'll have dark, crumbly compost that smells just like forest soil. This method works beautifully for gardeners who regularly prune, harvest, and cook at home. Compost bins and tumblers. These are honestly perfect for composting in smaller spaces. Not everyone wants an open compost pile, and that's where bins and tumblers really shine. These systems are especially useful for urban gardeners, rented homes, or anyone who just prefers a neater setup. Compost bins keep materials contained, while tumblers make turning the compost as easy as spinning a barrel. Tumblers heat up quickly because of their enclosed design, which means faster compost if you maintain the right mix of materials. They're also excellent for deterring pests. However, they do require a bit more attention. Since space is limited, adding too many kitchen scraps without enough dry material can quickly lead to odor issues. The secret here is consistency. Add browns every time you add food scraps, spin the tumbler regularly, and avoid overfilling. Done right, compost bins and tumblers can produce rich compost surprisingly fast, even in small yards or patios. Vermicomposting. This is all about turning kitchen scraps into gold indoors. If you live in an apartment or don't have outdoor space, vermicomposting, which is composting with worms, can really be a game changer. Red wigglers eat kitchen scraps and convert them into worm castings, which are honestly one of the most nutrient-rich soil amendments out there. What makes vermicomposting special is how little space it actually requires. A small bin under the sink, in a balcony corner, or even tucked away in a laundry room can handle a household's food scraps. The process is quiet, odor-free when done correctly, and just incredibly efficient. The key is understanding the worm's needs. They prefer soft foods like vegetable peels, fruit scraps, and coffee grounds. Avoid meat, oily foods, and too much citrus. Keep bedding moist but not soggy, and feed gradually. Over time, the worms will multiply, and you'll harvest castings that instantly boost plant health. For Rootshaven Grounds gardeners who want to compost year-round, regardless of weather or space, vermicomposting is honestly one of the most empowering options out there. So, let's talk about bokashi composting. Ferment first, compost later. Bokashi composting is perfect for people who want speed and flexibility. Instead of relying on oxygen, bokashi uses fermentation. Food waste is layered with a special inoculated bran in an airtight container, allowing it to ferment rather than rot. One of the biggest advantages of bokashi is what it can handle. Unlike most compost systems, Bokashi can process meat, dairy, and cooked foods without smells or pests. This makes it ideal for households that generate a lot of kitchen waste. After a couple of weeks, the fermented material isn't finished compost, but it's ready for the next step. It can be buried in garden soil, added to a traditional compost pile, or processed further in a soil trench. In warm climates, it breaks down rapidly once exposed to soil microbes. For gardeners who want minimal effort and maximum flexibility, Bokashi offers a powerful alternative to traditional composting. Trench composting is one of the most underrated composting methods, especially for vegetable gardeners. Instead of managing a pile or bin, you bury organic waste directly in the soil where you plan to plant later. This method is simple and incredibly effective. You just dig a trench or hole, add kitchen scraps, cover with soil, and let nature do the rest. Over time, soil organisms break down the material, improving soil structure and fertility exactly where plants need it. Trench composting works well for gardeners with limited time, those who don't want to manage a compost system, or anyone dealing with dry climates where open compost piles struggle to stay active. The only real requirement is planning ahead, since buried scraps need time to decompose before planting. At Rootshaven Grounds, this is honestly one of my favorite ways to quietly improve garden beds without extra equipment or maintenance. If you truly don't have space to compost at home, community composting can be the perfect solution. Many neighborhoods, schools, markets, and community gardens offer shared composting programs where organic waste is collected and processed centrally. Participating in community composting keeps food waste out of landfills and connects you with like-minded gardeners. Some programs even allow you to receive finished compost in return, closing the loop beautifully. This method is especially valuable for apartment dwellers or those in strict rental situations. Even small daily contributions add up over time, and you're still actively building healthier soil, just on a shared scale. The best composting system is the one you'll actually use. Don't worry about doing it perfectly. Start where you are, with what you have, and build from there. Composting is a living process, and like gardening itself, it rewards patience and observation. At Rootshaven Grounds, we believe composting isn't just waste management, it's an act of stewardship. Every peel, leaf, and scrap returned to the soil is a step toward healthier gardens, stronger plants, and more resilient food systems. If this guide helped you see composting in a new way, I invite you to become part of the Rootshaven Grounds community. Subscribe to the channel for practical soil-focused gardening wisdom, share this article with a fellow gardener, and help spread the message that great soil can be built anywhere, one composting habit at a time.